We've all heard it. Filipinas are the most loyal, hardworking, and family-oriented women you will ever meet. On the surface, these are the exact traits most men are looking for in a lifelong partner. To some, dating a breadwinner sounds novel. You are dating a woman with strong, smart work ethic and a big heart. But for many foreigners, this dynamic becomes the number one reason for a breakup. Today, we're going to peel back the layers. Why is dating a Filipino breadwinner so difficult for Western men? We're going to look at the lack of boundaries, the financial black hole, and the time poverty that kills long-distance relationships. If you are dating a Filipina right now or planning to, this might be the most important 10 minutes of your week. In the West, you are taught that once you get married or into a serious relationship, your partner becomes your primary. You form a new unit. In the Philippines, the breadwinner's unit is already established. Her parents, her siblings, and sometimes her extended relatives. The first reason foreigners struggle is the priority clash. When a Filipina is a breadwinner, she is the pillar of her household. This creates a psychological weight. I've spoken to men who have planned romantic vacations or special calls only to have them canceled because a cousin in the province needed a ride to the hospital or her mother decided to have a last-minute party. Think about Dave, who happens to be an avid viewer, who sent me an email. Dave was dating a wonderful girl from Cebu. He flew 20 hours to see her. On their third date together, her brother called her, saying he couldn't pay his motorbike loan. The girl spent the next 4 hours on the phone, crying and trying to find a solution, instead of being present with Dave. To Dave, it felt like he was a guest in her life, not her priority. For a breadwinner, her family's crisis will always trump your romance. Let's talk about the most sensitive topic, money. In Filipino culture, there is a concept called Utang na Loob, or a debt of gratitude. If her parents raised her, she feels like she owes them her entire paycheck. This is beautiful in theory, but toxic in practice when boundaries don't exist. When you date a Filipina, you are not just dating her. You're entering a financial partnership with her entire family. Foreigners often feel financially exploited, but here's the nuance. It's rarely the Filipina trying to scam you. It's her inability to say no to her family. I remember a viewer who shared that his Filipino girlfriend's father would ask money for medicine every single month. When the boyfriend finally visited the house, he found the father drinking beer. Of course, with friends. And the medicine money had actually gone toward a new karaoke machine. The Filipina knew, but she couldn't stop it because he's my father. As a foreigner, you might feel like your hard-earned savings are being drained into a leaky bucket that never gets full. And when your Filipino girlfriend runs out of money, who does she run to? You. Not because she's greedy, but because she's desperate. Eventually, the family stops looking at her as a provider and start looking at you as the upgrade. If you stop the flow of money, the family may turn against you, whispering in her ear that you don't really love her because you don't want to support her family. The third reason is something I call time poverty. Most Filipino breadwinners here in the Philippines aren't sitting in high-paying CEO roles. Most of them are juggling 2 jobs at a time, maybe a virtual assistant gig by day and a call center job at night, plus doing the cooking and cleaning for the family they support. In an LDR, communication is everything. But a Filipino breadwinner has no free time. Between your 12-hour difference and her 14-hour work schedule, when do you actually build a relationship? You're left with good morning and good night text messages. You feel lonely and she feels pressured. I've seen many interracial relationships crumble because the foreign guy feels like ghosted. He thinks his Filipino girlfriend is losing interest. In reality, his Filipino girlfriend just finished a 10-hour shift, spent 2 hours in traffic on her way home, cooked dinner for 5 people, and washed the dishes. By the time she sits down to call him, she falls asleep mid-sentence. You're not dating a partner. You are dating a person who is in survival mode. Survival mode doesn't leave much room for romance. So why do many foreigners avoid dating Filipina breadwinners? Because they want a partner, not a project. They want a woman who is free to build a new life and not someone who is eternally tethered into the financial demand of her old one. It's about the fear of never being enough to fill the gap by a family that refuses to or support themselves. If you are dating a Filipino breadwinner, you have to ask yourself, are you prepared to be the secondary priority? Are you prepared for the emergency calls? And most importantly, does she have the courage to set a boundary? If the answer is no, you might be heading for a heartbreak that has nothing to do with a lack of love, but has everything to do with a lack of boundaries. Now, I know it sounds heavy. I know it sounds like a red flag across the board, but is it? In my next video, I'm going to talk about the flip side. Why you should consider dating a Filipino breadwinner. I'll share how these exact problems can also be the foundation of the most stable and dedicated marriage you've ever had, if you know how to handle it. You don't want to miss that perspective. But for now, you might want to check the 5 sure signs your Filipino girlfriend is not scamming you by watching this video right here. Once again, my name is Art and see you in my next video. Bye guys!